Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Tiberian Sun. We're going to continue the Nod reunification war as we attempt to defeat General Hassan, who, as the cutscenes have shown us, is nothing but a puppet of GDI, taking orders from General Solomon, GDI's Supreme Commander. By the way, I didn't bring this up before, but General Solomon is portrayed by James Earl Jones, and we will see that our sort of in-game avatar for the GDI side is portrayed by, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Michael Biehn, something like that, who I believe was in the original Terminator and was also in Aliens. So he's also been in some pretty major sci-fi films. So Westwood was actually able to get some pretty big names to act in their cutscenes in this game, and the general production values of the cutscenes are really a big step above what they were in Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert, so that's pretty cool. Even though I don't really give a crap about actors and celebrities, there's no denying that James Earl Jones and Michael Biehn, or however you pronounce his last name, have good screen presence and do a good job bringing their acting chops into this game. Anyway, let us proceed onward to the next mission.
Reliable sources on board the orbiting Philadelphia have confirmed that GDI scientists working on biological weapons intended for innocent civilians released a deadly virus into the... Well, this is a surprise.
Please, continue.
Head of GDI forces, General Solomon, is said to have become mentally unstable.
In other news, General Hassan's weak and impotent rule was overthrown today when forces within the Brotherhood rose up to unite Nod under a new leader. Anton Slavik, rescued from death by the spirit hand of Kane, has been vindicated of all crimes against the state. He steps forward now to lead us. Follow him as you would follow Kane.
It's time to finish Hassan.
Cairo, build and protect your base, then take the would-be pharaoh.
Alright, so here is the first time that we actually get a choice of missions. So I will go ahead and mouse over both of them to see which one is the optional submission, and reduce Cabal's voice volume for that to 25%. By the way, I also have to increase the video volume by, I'm not kidding, a factor of 20. I have to increase the volume in post by 20 times to make the cutscenes the same volume as everything else. So there is a lot of post-processing of the audio I have to do in this game to try to equalize it all, and any audio artifacts that you hear as a result, I apologize for them, but I'm doing my best. This game's audio problems do not make it easy.
We have become aware of an imprisoned commander in this region who was loyal to Hassan. Free him and his forces, and they should be sympathetic to our cause and help in the capture of Hassan. The commander may have information vital to your movement.
Okay, so that's going to be the optional submission. I've heard this is non-canonical, or at least not officially confirmed, but I've heard fan speculation that the commander you free in this mission is the Nod commander from Tiberian Dawn. I think that's kind of a cool idea, so we can go with that. Even so, this commander that we free in this submission is not ever even going to be a real character or ever appear again, but still just a fun little thing to consider. And then this other one would be the main mission. We can go ahead and hear what that's going to be about.
The infidel Hassan has been tracked to this region of Cairo. Build a base and remove the usurper.
Okay, simple enough. Well, onward to the submission then.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Okay. So the front door is here in the enemy's main base. The forces we've got would not be adequate to punch through here, so we're going to have to try to find a side passage.
Yes, sir.
Nope, that's not a good way to go, guys. On the subject of player avatars, here we've got Slavik on the Nod side. We'll have Commander McNeil on the GDI side. I think this is the only Command and Conquer game to ever do that, where instead of the player basically just taking on the role of himself... Oh, enemy got into an aircraft and is flying off. We're going to have to blast through the sandbags with our attack bikes, or attack cycles, which are the only units we've got that have explosives. And our men are too inept to climb over sandbag barriers. Okay, can y'all get through that? Looks like they can. Here we go through a tunnel. That is another gameplay innovation in Tiberian Sun, which is pretty cool. But as I was saying, I believe this is the only Command and Conquer game where instead of the player just taking on the role of himself, he's actually represented by a character in the cutscenes in the game. It's a strange deviation. I don't mind it exactly. Slavic and McNeil are pretty cool. Apparently Westwood decided they hated the character of McNeil. I don't mind him. I think he's fine. We'll see more of him later, of course. So maybe we don't want to go that way. And Slavic's pretty cool. But it is perhaps more immersive in some ways if you, as the player, are taking on the role of the commander. Alright, once we clear the few defenders out of here, we had some allies call for help saying they're trapped in the trucks. Now, a really stupid thing happened to me here. I edited it out. But it looks like you only get a single engineer from that truck, but it's actually 3 engineers standing on top of each other. I didn't realize that there were multiple engineers there. I thought there was only one, and so I was really confused. Because with just one engineer and no money, there's no way to take over this base and complete the mission. So that's actually kind of an annoying bug, that the 3 engineers stacked on top of each other just look like one. Unless you just happen to move one of those engineers and then realize that it's actually multiple, it really makes the mission seem unwinnable. So, little bit of a bug there. But we figured it out, and so we are now in business. Here's another of those destructible cliffs. Alright, and now let's just start cranking out some forces. I love being able to queue up multiple units and not have to remember to go back and click the button constantly to keep building stuff. Obviously, we don't have access to a fully functional base here, so this is a little bit of a puzzly mission. I've said in my other CNC playthroughs, I do really like missions with little puzzly elements. Alright, so there's some civilians here, but I'm not going to bother killing them just because it would take a while and be a waste of time. So I will leave them alone. I do like the look of these rural civilian towns in Tiberian Sun. They have kind of a futuristic rural backwater, vaguely dystopian look about them. Like they're all very much factory manufactured little mini houses for people, which I don't necessarily have any kind of problem with that concept, but it seems like basically everybody's just forced to live in these tiny little manufactured mini houses. It's all very kind of drab and utilitarian looking. It's really, some of them are quite convincing the way they're built out in the levels. We'll see more urban landscapes later, which it's really cool that in Tiberian Sun they sort of added the ability to depict more urban settings and not just the rural settings that are what you see exclusively in Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert. I like the variety. And I really like the sort of haunted look of urban landscapes overrun with Tiberium. Okay, so I'm guessing the bridge is destroyed from the way my guys are pathing all weird. Yeah, so we're going to need another engineer to fix that. While I'm at it, let me review my objectives real quick. Locate and free the rebel Nod commander. Okay, simple enough. Had I realized I needed an engineer, I obviously would have built one already. But as it is, we're going to have to wait for our harvester to get back. I really like this particular music track. The music in general in Tiberian Sun is very good. It's very atmospheric. A lot of it is sort of haunting. Really kind of captures the sound of a dystopian landscape. You know what? I'm actually gonna turn it up a little bit. Game controls. All right, I have the sound turned way down, trying to get my volume levels right. But let's turn the music up one notch. There we go. I might spend a bit of time fiddling with volume levels until I get them right. As I said, it's really hard to get the audio right with this game. It is the most challenging from an audio processing perspective of any of the games I've LP'd to date. So here we've got a burrowed tick tank. Tick tanks are Nod's basic armor unit. And what's interesting about them is the fact that they can burrow and basically act as mobile turrets. Like so. They're arguably not as strong as GDI's basic armor unit when they're on the move, but when they burrow in to act like a turret, they become quite a bit stronger. They're more durable, at a minimum, and I'm pretty sure they get some other bonuses as well. But I don't remember everything that they get. Alright, so we came in the back door of this Nod base, allowing us to bypass all this nonsense. Much easier to attack from here. And we have freed the Nod commander. He shares his voice lines with an in-game representation of Slavic, actually. Which means some of the things he's going to say aren't going to sound quite right. And we need to get him back to this harpy. So I'm going to send him back around the safe direction. Looks like some jerk is trying to chase him down. So let's provide him with some cover. Oh, let's actually destroy their construction yard while we're here. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but units and structures feel really, really durable to me in this game. As though they take more punishment than they do in, like, Tiberian Dawn and Red Alert. Oh, actually, this is the correct direction. Send him through this tunnel. Alright, so we have just about crippled the enemy base. We can go take out their war factory here. Oh, and they have another Hand of Nod, which we'll have to get in order to fully cripple them. Captured commander is saying, get him to the drop-off site. Yep, we're working on it. But this is one of those missions where you don't actually have to do a map wipe. You just complete the objective and you're done. I always really appreciate that. It's nice variety from just always having to destroy everything on the map. Alright, looks like well done to us. And the harpy flies off. But yeah, I love the big upgrade in the production values for all the cutscenes. It's really cool. Alright, obviously that was a pretty short mission, so we'll go onward to the main mission next.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Well, we didn't do a very good job of putting up any kind of ruse, did we? So it said, establish a foothold on the far side of the bridge and an MCV will be sent to us. I'm going to have to try to remember to save the game toward the end of this mission. Because this game doesn't have any kind of map select. So if I forget to do that, I'm going to have to replay through missions multiple times in order to get back to where I was. And as much as I enjoy this game, I'd rather not have to do that. Alright, so let's try to take these guys out. Oh, we're meeting with quite a bit of resistance. Let's pull our buggies back a bit. There we go, so that they can fight together with our light infantry. So these searchlight towers, or light towers, are kind of a holdover from when there was a mechanic in this game where having units in light or darkness would actually affect your hit rate. Alright, our MCV has arrived to the southeast. Let's send this new batch here so we can set up our base. But yeah, one of the various cut features in this game was that there was originally going to be some kind of lighting mechanic that affected unit accuracy, and the light towers would have something to do with that. But that got dropped. One of many things that got dropped. Alright, let's use these engineers to take over some of the enemy base. Let me also see about increasing the voice volume just one notch. And if the volume balance for putting the music and the voices up a notch ends up being terrible, then I'll put it back for the next video. Alright, where is the Tiberium? I see a little bit down here.
Base under attack.
Alright, let's go ahead and set up our MCV.
New construction options.
And get an economy going. So here we actually have control of some subterranean MCVs. They arrived and contributed some reinforcements here. Right now this bridge is out, obviously, and so that means neither we nor the enemy can attack over it. But there are bridge repair huts on both sides, so either of us could decide to repair that bridge and then make it a viable attack route. I'm going to do some scouting to try to figure out if I want to do that and take the direct route, or if there's maybe a better way to attack the enemy.
Construction complete.
Alright.
New construction options.
So, we see that, much like Tiberian Dawn, Tiberian Sun is a more slow-moving game, more methodically paced. Doesn't really have the frenetic pace like the Red Alert games do. Which means it's all the more important to get up multiple refineries to get an economy going, or it will take us forever to build anything. Okay, there's another enemy base there. We might want to deal with that before we try to attack the one on the far side of the bridge.
Unit lost.
Although, if anything, this one maybe looks easier to take. It's hard to say. We have fights happening all over the place here. I could try a sneaky subterranean APC drop with engineers to take over that base. I have a feeling that they're doing subterranean APC drops on me, because I don't know how else I would have these guys just materializing in the middle of my base like that. Alright, this is silly. All the,
Building.
What are you guys doing? All the attacks we're sustaining. We need to get up defenses.
Unit lost. Construction complete.
Yeah, look at this. The enemy just has the run of our base. That's no good.
Building.
A couple of lasers ought to help with this problem.
Construction complete. Building.
Alright.
Construction complete. Harvester under attack.
Okay. That should help make things a bit more secure, hopefully. And yeah, I kind of like the idea of trying to do a sneaky engineer drop into the enemy space. So let's train a couple engineers. Maybe even 3. There's a lot of stuff we could take over in here. We'll drop in with an APC filled with attackers first to sort of serve as a distraction. And then, following... Okay, we need another laser. The lasers are very short range. The enemy can just walk right by them the way I've positioned them, it appears.
Construction complete.
Okay.
Low power.
And, of course, we're low power. Fortunately, the lasers are self-powered, apparently, so they don't get shut down.
Construction complete.
So the enemy does attack us frequently. The forces they attack us with are small, but we are pressured more or less constantly in this level, so that's kind of cool. Okay, let's see the subterranean APC in action. We'll send the attack or the combat APC first. And then, once that has hopefully caused a bit of a distraction, the engineering APC. Now, go ahead and burrow. There you go. And, okay, another wimpy little attack on my base. Okay, deploy, deploy, deploy.
Construction complete.
Alright. Go, go, go.
Building captured.
We can start training reinforcements right in here.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
And then try to sneak around. Oh, they trained an engineer of their own, apparently. Sneak around and see if we can grab their construction yard. And I would like to get their, harvester as well.
Building captured. Unit lost.
Oh, they sold the refinery, apparently. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to be getting that. Oh no, I trained this guy for nothing. And I really don't care about keeping this construction yard.
Lost. Unit lost.
Let's repair that. Maybe build a laser or 2.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Take out the remaining infantry in the space.
Unit ready. Building.
Overall, I'd say this was a very successful attack. It's fun pulling off sneaky things like engineer drops.
Unit ready.
Oh, I wanted to be training these new infantry back here, actually.
Primary buildings.
Glad to see that my base wasn't destroyed while I was distracted orchestrating this attack.
Unit ready.
Alright, now let's, well, first of all, we need more power, apparently.
Unit ready.
Alright, now, let's start congregating back here. I think my objective here is just destroy everything, right? Restate briefing. Okay, cross the bridge and destroy the enemies on the far side, deploy your MCV and begin building a base, then locate and destroy Hassan's temple. Alright, so you don't have to do a map wipe, necessarily.
Unit ready.
Just Hassan's temple in particular.
Unit ready.
There we go. Let's finally start on a war factory, and that engineer who we ended up not using, we'll use him to repair the bridge and launch our assault across here. I'm going to keep this position just in case the enemy hits that instead of my main base. That could be useful.
Unit ready.
We have a reasonable force already.
Unit ready.
This light tower is... its existence is annoying. Let's destroy it.
Bridge repaired.
Alright. That's what all that noise is about. Another futile little attack. So, let's go ahead and launch an assault across the bridge. Hey, we can build tick tanks now. But not attack cycles, that's interesting. Well, let's build some tick tanks. New unit. And then let's find Hassan's temple and wipe it out.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
Alright, so... with this, we are on the brink of bringing the Nod reunification war to an end. Oh, I accidentally grabbed my harvester. One UI innovation I missed that isn't in this game is that when you band select, it doesn't select things like harvesters. So you can accidentally grab them when you're selecting your units. That's a little annoying. But anyway, yep, we're about to bring the Nod reunification war to an end once we find Hassan's temple and destroy it and capture him. Which means we're then going to briefly go over to GDI. Let's go ahead and take out their harvester. Once Nod is able to present a united front, they will be able to launch a proper assault upon GDI. So we'll go on to the other side and deal with the effects of that for just a couple of missions before going back to Nod for a bit.
Unit lost.
Well, that looks like it might have a supply crate. Or a money crate. But it didn't. Alright, never mind. Where's your temple, Hassan? Oh, a tick tank. There it is.
Lost.
As you can see in these early levels, a mass infantry force is actually pretty effective. We've lost all our vehicles, we still have our infantry.
Unit lost.
Kind of a weird feeling, that. Pretty interesting looking temple. I mean, obviously it's got kind of a Egyptian or Mayan kind of feel to it. Other civilizations that built pyramids and ziggurats, except really high-tech looking. So I guess that architectural style has made a comeback here in the world of Tiberian Sun. I'm pretty okay with this. Pyramids look really cool. Oh, okay, it's a pretty well-guarded pyramid. We're going to have to fight our way past a couple of lasers. I'm not sure if we'll be able to with the forces we've got here. Well, that's one down. Okay, so if our forces get caught in that fire, they can burn to death.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Alright, well, we've been building tick tanks back home, so...
Unit lost.
As I thought, those forces weren't enough to fight their way through a buggy hitting them from behind and a pair of lasers. But 5 tick tanks will do the job quite easily, I think. I was saying before I have mixed feelings about the voxel graphics. I think the tick tanks are kind of ugly looking. I think some of the voxel units just don't look very good. The tick tanks are an example of that. It just, I don't know, it hardly even looks like a tank. It doesn't really have a turret. Like, I don't know, it almost just looks more like a weird truck or something. I don't really like them very much. They look a little better when they turn into turrets. By contrast, the attack buggies and the attack cycles look a little cooler. Alright. They have built another buggy in a futile attempt to stop us. Let's go ahead and destroy Hassan's temple. And let's try to remember to save. Alright. Save game as... Well, we could have the name of the mission, Destroy Hassan's Temple, but I'll just call it Nod 4. And we are about to see, I think, one of the most iconic cutscenes in all of... Alright, Hassan tries to escape and we shoot him down. Shoot down his harpy. Eventually.
Mission accomplished.
Alright, nice try, Hassan. Kind of a cool little in-game cutscene that you get there at the end. As I was about to say, we are now about to witness one of the most iconic and coolest cutscenes in the entire Command & Conquer franchise. And then we'll be hopping over to GDI for a couple of missions. So hopefully you'll join me for that. But first, a cutscene of supreme awesomeness.
Brotherhood! We are whole again! The sickness has been cut out! In the name of Kane! In the name of Kane! In the name of Kane! Kane lives! Rule of thumb, Hassan. You can't kill the Messiah. Rise, my people. I have returned, never to leave your side again. GDI sought to destroy me, but they have only made me stronger. Today, we march forward into our future, a stronger people, a divine people, enhanced for the Tiberium world. The time has come to claim this world as our own. The time has come to destroy GDI. One vision, one purpose. Peace through power.